Well, a very good morning and welcome to Central Coast Regional Sporting Complex and Recreation Centre in Tuggerah. This is the 2022 Country Championships for New South Wales Touch Football. We have arrived at the semi-final phase of the competition. This first match here in finals territory is for the Women's Open Division. The Doyalson Dragons will take on the Newcastle Knights. The drop-off is completed on field number 6, and here on field 1, we are underway. First use of the ball with Newcastle. Little dummy. And now providing the ball here for Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh at pace and then trying to link up with her wing partner. Just falling short on that occasion. So Doyalson let off the hook early here. 30 minutes on the clock. 30 minutes separating these sides from a grand final berth against either the Central Coast Dolphins or the Wallsend Wolves. 10 metres shy of the halfway line come Doyalson now. Kessler, the big dummy. And these two sides met earlier this morning. It was a comprehensive victory for the Newcastle team, a side that is absolutely chock full of talent. Australian representatives, New South Wales players, you name it. Jess Potts, Rachel Jeffs, Billy Taylor, just some of the names that are coming to mind. Of course, Amy DeFore as well, who now has the ball. Forward they drive through Lucy Spain. Hindmarsh. Out of acting half now comes Potts. Potts back to DeFore. DeFore, great evasiveness. Beat the first couple of attempts before the touch was affected. Now Potts. Centre of the field and slowing things down. Gets the strike dump. Here comes DeFore. DeFore with oodles of space. Took full advantage of it. And the first try of the semi-final comes the way of the Newcastle Knights, a hotly favoured side. They start well here. 1-0 after about 2 minutes of play. So Doyalson with work to do, of course, new to this division in terms of really promoting their Women's Open side. A very strong 20s division across both the women's and men's, and of course the men's Open is particularly strong. Still a bit of development working here for the Open women's side, but they've done well to reach the semi-final stage. They now have a chance to strike back here. The big dummy comes in the centre of the field. Now out of acting half, they take a nice big scoot. Long ball has gone well over the top of the supporting run there of Kessler. So a changeover to come here for the Newcastle Knights. DeFore promotes the ball wider still. Nice little step within the run there. And just opening up half a gap. Oh, great step as well at the death here from Potts. Potts down the sideline. Support back through the middle. Defence coming across. A beautiful effort from Doyalson. It's still alive though. It's great scramble defence. Hannah Fitzpatrick was the woman who came across to prevent a certain try being scored. Well done from Doyalson. From right to left, and linking up now with Maddie Mitchell. Jeffs from left to right, finding the run here of Atkins. Jeffs again, back to Atkins. Atkins can't split them. Good defence there from Hamopo. Last play now for the Knights. They'll come for a short side raid. The big dummy works beautifully for them. They take the intercept, and that will be a changeover. So they survive once more here, the Dragons. Good scramble defence to begin this one. Severino comes forward. Roll ball happening here for Doyalson as they get fresh players onto the pitch, heading towards that sub-box. No great deal of momentum about their play so far. They'll speed things up now. That's a nice run there from Glanville. Up over halfway. An indiscretion there in the play of the ball. So change over to come. Newcastle leading 1-0 as Jeffs fires a long ball out wide. Now they link up with McManus. Another famous name around Newcastle parts. You cast your mind back to James McManus, of course, for the Knights in the league. Cheney delivers here for Stewart. Stewart picks up some good metres. A backpedaling defensive line. Cheney cuts them all the way through. towards the try line and finding the support of Matty McManus. And M&M goes in. 2 tries to nil. Newcastle looking good early on. And for that matter, looking to book a place in the grand final. Just over 5 minutes gone in this semi, and of course the other semi-final featuring another Central Coast-based side taking on a Hunter side there, so Wallsend and the Central Coast Dolphins doing battle on the adjoining field. We'll be checking the app throughout. Hopefully we can get a few updates in terms of the score itself. Though we're not expecting those to come through until the completion of both of these matches. But they are within our eye line, so we should get a pretty good indication at full time as to exactly who has come away with the victory there. Nice pace about the play now. Last one here as Glanville hops into acting half. Wanted to link up out wide. The late wraparound comes from Kelleher. They can't go any further. Aggressive defence from Newcastle, pushing up nice and high and shutting down any opportunity. Off the left foot. Pass that was very marginal. Ruled to be play on. As they come towards the halfway line, Severino was trying to enact the false touch. And earn a changeover for her side. Good pace about the play as DeFore now straightens up. DeFore back towards the middle. Good footwork here from Potts. Potts dives at the line. Potts has done a great job there. DeFore and Potts had the defence on ice skates. And Potts with a beautiful dive at the end makes it 3 tries to nil. The Knights cruising early in this semi-final. So the warning was this Newcastle side is red hot. They'll be tough to stop to claim the entire tournament. And so far they are in a pretty good position to carry things on here and find themselves with a grand final spot. Great pace on display though from Doyalson. What about the turn of speed there? And then connecting out wide with Koenig. It's a try for Doyalson. 3-1. They aren't out of this one just yet. Well, that'll give them a little bit of hope here. It's a nice play. They do have some pace out there. Likes of Kelsey Clark as well. Very quick in the number 7. Potts plays it to 4, hopping in at acting half, and now back to Potts as they keep driving forward. Good meters on offer. Bit of a passive defensive line at the moment. Well jammed in though from the wing there from Koenig. A couple of big moments for her back to back. They'll play this one inside the 7 metre mark. DeFore trying to open them up, but a good touch comes in and a change over here. So they're warming into the contest, the Dragons. Easy meters on offer in the first couple of plays here as they head towards the interchange area. Not a great play the ball there though. That'll slow the momentum just a little bit. And again, the transition not particularly strong. And that is one thing that we tend to notice for Doyalson size. They usually have a wonderful subset. That's gone against the grain there. So now Newcastle with a chance to put some more pressure on the scoreboard. Potts flings it off here to Rachel Jeffs. Ball delivered now to Hindmarsh, who stutter steps off the right foot and then is caught by Kessler. Jeffs drops it off on the 7 metre mark. At pace is Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh with a beautiful ball, a flat pass delivered right onto the chest of Maddie McManus, who goes in for her second try of the match. 4 tries to 1 in the semi-final. We're about a third of the way through this one. So Doyalson will get to restart things here. And working upfield through the middle. Kelleher takes off. Great pace about her work here. Kelleher has burnt them on the outside. And all the way for a touchdown. 4 tries to 2. And a nice little turn back to the camera there to make sure that everybody knows Jocelyn Kelleher is the one that's just scorched the field here. Doing a good job of keeping with them here. This Newcastle side is red hot, and Doyalson are up for the task in this semi-final. So the Knights once more with possession. Of course, coming into this match, good touch in there from the Doyalson Dragons. They prevent any further encroachment on that line. Atkins ruled back to that 7-metre mark. Spain to Stewart. Stewart drops it off. Quick hands here. Oh, wonderful play from Lucy Spain, who cuts them open. Held it in 2 hands. And it was just enough to put the defenders in 2 minds and on the back foot. And that means it is now 5 tries to 2. Of course, coming into this one, Doyalson had played 5 matches, 1-2. 3 losses, just enough to sneak past the Beresfield Bandits. Secure that 4th place spot, and of course Newcastle, perfect 5 from 5 on the way to reaching this semi-final. They've only conceded 6 tries before this match in the entire tournament, so they've done a great job so far, Doyalson, of troubling the defensive line. 5-2, they've already breached them a couple of times. Too much of a rainbow pass there, needed to be flatter with more pace. Glanville did well the previous play to snaffle that one in from going over the sideline. She hops into acting half now. An option out wide, and that's where they go here through Kessler. And Kessler can find no opening. Stewart was up in the face and closed things down. Good scything run here from the Knights. They pick up lovely meterage. Stewart now on the run as well. Quick play here. Taylor is out there in the 16. She can really motor. Here she is in at acting half. DeFore drops it off now for Potts. Already a try score in this match. Last play now. Potts gets the ball quickly from DeFore, but good jamming in defence from the Doyalson Dragons. Much improved showing compared to their previous match up against Newcastle earlier this morning. Wasn't a happy one for them as they come up over the halfway line now. Play just running out of momentum a little bit here. So they're trying to work something on the last now through Olivia Glanville, who's caught, and that will be the changeover. Just taking a little look as well at the previous fixture. From memory, it was about 12-0 in favour of the Knights. It was a comprehensive victory, 11-0 it was. So already we're seeing a significant improvement from this Doyalson side in the semi-final. 5 tries to 2, Newcastle lead. They're on the attack here once more. Quick hands, beautiful stuff. Jeffs promotes the footy. There's space out wide. A lovely pass provided by Hindmarsh. And that's a beautiful team try for the Newcastle Knights. 6 tries to 2 in the semi-final. The draw and pass was beautiful, rolling upfield throughout that set. And finished with aplomb. 6 tries to 2. About halfway through this match. If they keep the foot on the throttle, they've got one hand on the trophy already, Newcastle, as they'll be one of the 2 combatants in the grand final. Doyalson certainly will be hoping to ask a few more questions before time is up here. Heading towards the line, a short pass provided. Nice quick roll ball right on that 7-metre mark. Long pass comes. Good pressure out wide there from Newcastle, preventing any further encroachment whatsoever. So the Knights work it away from their own end. Up over halfway now as Billy Taylor hops in at acting half. Taylor once more. Long pass comes. The width is held. They've gone through once more. They have to link up. Nobody was there in support initially. And, of course, the Doyalson girls weren't tracking because they already heard the call from the referee. But it would be ruled back. So 6 tries to 2 as the most recent try scorer. Alex Kennedy comes for a little breather on the sideline. Glanville drops it off and now looking to head over halfway. Glanville, nice quick play of the ball. Out of acting half, they've got to get rid of it nice and quick here. Taylor just got back for a very short 7, it must be said. Hamopo drops it off. Clark at pace. Clark trying to split them, does a pretty good job of it. Nearly got away from them there, Kelsey Clark. So 13 and a half to play. An opportunity out wide here for the Knights, and they pick up good meterage. Smooth transition too as Cheney comes onto the field. Takes a little run. Taylor tried to find her once more, but the pressure was good on the inside from April Hamopo. Here she is now with it. Dummy comes, and into acting half is Kelleher. Already a try scorer herself in this match. Turning back towards the substitution side of the field for Doyalson. Glanville, an option in support. Kernick is wider still. Running out of acting half. They caught, which of course means a changeover in touch footy. Can't be caught as the dummy half. Fight on now to DeFore. Glanville with the touch. Easy meters on offer there for Potts. Mitchell. Quick ball here to Atkins. Nice roll ball. Taylor hops in at acting half. They keep pushing forward. Mitchell, Rachel Jeffs, ball over the top. Billy Taylor, great cover defence there from Kernick. Last play now for the Knights. A lot for a short side raid with Atkins. Taylor tries to promote the footy, but it will be a touch pass changeover. Either way you look at it, end of the set. And time for Doyalson to work it away from their own end. 12 minutes on the clock, 18 minutes gone. Newcastle in the lead, 6 tries to 2. Glanville on now to Severino. Gets caught up in an awkward little pretzel of a challenge there. Big dummy comes in before it's provided for Kessler. Oh, and nearly a wonderful party trick there to maintain possession. Kessler just couldn't reel it in though. The wry smile comes out. Last time I've seen anything like that would have been Liam Fulton about 15 years ago for the Tigers. Atkins waiting for fresh players on. Kennedy now off for Cheney. Stewart slowing it down as they get more reinforcements on, looking to work for that strike dump. They might not need it because the pass is not a bad one. Just a little bit too far in front of the run of Kennedy. She couldn't get there in time. 6 tries to 2, it remains. Approaching the final third of this semi-final. At this stage it is Newcastle who will go through to the grand final itself. Touch comes in there from Stewart. Good meters on offer here for the Dragons. Severino picks it up and marches forward. Dropped off there from Kessler. Severino, Kessler in support, the quick tip on. Just a little too wide of the supporting run. So 10.5 remain. The Knights just have to get through their sets here. They don't have to do anything expansive, anything pretty. Simple footy will claim the result for them at this stage. Whereas Doyalson might need to be a little bit more expansive. Hindmarsh with a great turn of speed. Now Potts hits the line hard. DeFore is there in support. DeFore with the cutout pass. Oh, it's lovely play. Maddie McManus has a hat trick. 7 tries to 2. That now makes it very difficult for Doyalson to launch some sort of a comeback here. The clock is now a real factor and scoreboard pressure is being applied. So Billy Taylor heads back onto the field here for the Knights, and she'll slot into that wing position on the far side of the field. Kelsey Clark went for that little run there. An incorrect play the ball off the back of it though. Relinquishes possession. DeFore. Potts. Up the guts they go. Potts once more now. Straightening things and stepping off the left foot a couple of times. Hindmarsh, who's got oodles of pace. Crabbing across field. DeFore. Now Potts. Spots a gap. Back to DeFore. DeFore with a long ball. I think that's gone forward. No, they said out of the hands backwards. And it is try time for Billy Taylor. 8 tries to 2. Newcastle Knights home and hose now. About 8.5 on the clock. There was a little period there for the Doyalson Dragons where they were coming for them. Got it back to within 4-2. But they've clicked into another gear ever since that point, the Knights. So Doyalson bump it forward. Now run here from McClymont. Severino. Dummies to the right and then provides for Fitzpatrick and then hops in at acting half. Options both sides of the play the ball. Jeffs putting the pressure on. Last play now. They'll come for a short side raid. Nowhere for Kernick to go though. The defence was on point. A show to the sideline. Not much unfortunately for Kernick she could possibly do with that situation as the touch comes in from McClymont. Mitchell. Up over halfway they come. Hindmarsh with a good run. Good flow about this set so far for Newcastle. Last play now. Lovely little one-handed pickup. Hindmarsh, ball in 2 hands. The cutout pass arrives and Kennedy goes in once more. It's her second of the match. 9 tries to 2. It really is getting away from the Dragons now. Under 7 to play. Fight on now from Kessler. Back to the middle, Severino. Rolls it here, McClymont. Happy just to navigate through this central passage. Last play now, though, for the Dragons. Severino, short ball. Not a particularly pretty one, though. And that will be the changeover. Let us know where you are watching this semi-final from. Who you're barracking for. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Courtesy of Bar TV. On the New South Wales Touch Football page. Up to halfway they come here, the Newcastle Knights. Now Atkins. Good defensive pressure there from McClymont. Potts. Surging, looking for an opening here. Potts once more. The long ball comes in between both Link and Wing. So another changeover to come here for the Doyalson Dragons. Stepping up for good pressure there is DeFore. Fitzpatrick out of acting half. Probably lucky to get away with a touch pass and then straight away the touch footy gods enacting a little bit of karma with a drop ball. So the Knights go on the attack once more. They're looking to breach double digits here. 9 tries to 2. Atkins plays it inside the 7 at speed. Beautiful stuff from Lucy Spain. And Spain is flying the flag high for all of Europe, for that matter. We know there's a World Cup in League on right now. Spain aren't featuring. But Lucy Spain is doing a great job right here in the semi-final to make it 10 tries to 2. Her second of the match, Lucy Spain. And a big shout out as well to Jeff Clark tuning in from Hawks Nest. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful Sunday, Jeff. So 4.5 to play here. We know the Knights are heading into the grand final in the women's division. That's a coach killer there. An error from Hamopo off the first play gives Newcastle good field position to start this set. Olivia Steer, who we haven't seen a great deal of so far in this match, as Jeffs brings it forward. Mitchell caught on the inside. Hamopo with the touch. So they slow things down here. Maddie Mitchell once more. Threatening to launch a raid. Here is Jeffs. Jeffs with a long ball over the top. It beat them all, including the defence of Randall. It's a lovely left to right pass. It's 11 tries to 2. They've equalled their tally from earlier this morning against the Doyalson Dragons. So many great exponents on display for the Newcastle Knights. Plenty of representative experience between the likes of Highmarsh and Potts, Jeffs, Billy Taylor, of course Amy DeFore. So it's a stacked Newcastle side. They have been gallant, the Doyalson Dragons. Just a little bit too much class though from the Knights. Close run thing a little earlier on, 4-2. Since that point, it's been a run of 7 straight tries to Newcastle. It's Fitzpatrick. Works it there, looking for an opening. None forthcoming. It's a good scramble once more from the Knights. And they now have a chance to work it away from their own end. Highmarsh is wrapping around. Oh, big dummy comes here. And picking up plenty more metres is Sarah Stewart, who then drops it off. Atkins marching upfield, finds Potts. Good left foot step. Now links with DeFore. DeFore onto Spain, searching for a hat-trick herself. Spain out of acting half, loops around. Spain with the long ball. Oh, just out in front of McManus, who's already got a hat-trick. She wanted the quaddie. Two minutes remaining in this one. And of course, following this women's semi-final, we then move to the men's open division. This should be an absolute cracker. Central Coast Dolphins, who I don't believe we've actually seen on our main field. They are one of the 2 red-hot sides, along with Doyalson, who most pundits are predicting will make the grand final itself. It's a stacked team featuring the likes of the Moffat boys and Kaya Ardita, one of the quickest players you'll ever see. Luke Kane as well, so some big names in there, and they'll take on Newcastle City. So a northern rivalry as the Knights push forward themselves. Highmarsh drops it back on the inside here for Jeffs. Highmarsh back to Jeffs. Jeffs at pace. Now crabs the crossfield. Good defensive pressure from Hamopo. Highmarsh looks to open something up. There's a big gap she has managed to create now. Back to Jeffs, who goes right to left. Last play here. Little fumble in the pickup, and Jeffs is suggesting there was a stray foot in there. Referees not calling in favour as we come inside the last minute. Billy Taylor back into the action for Newcastle. Glanville to Hamopo. 7 metres shy of the halfway line, which they now cross. Touch comes in. Probably the smoothest transition so far in the match is left for pretty much their last set. That'll be a touch pass to close out here for the Dragons. So changeover for the Knights. So come inside the final 20 seconds here. $11 tries to 2. Can they make it a dirty dozen with a couple of final plays here? Jeffs heads towards halfway. Taylor. Good defence jamming in from Kessler. Newcastle with perhaps one more play. The siren set to sound. Atkins tries to launch a ball, instead finds directly into the face of the opposition. We've had quite a few Falcons here on field number 1 today. Biggest one was to Haynes. Playing for the Wallsend side in the men's seniors division, but that is full time. You can hear the siren in the background. Half the job is done for Newcastle in this country championships tournament for 2022. They've booked their place in the grand final. 11 tries to 2 over the Doyalson Dragons, who started quite well, but second half of that match, Newcastle really clicked into another gear. As I mentioned, coming up on this main field here, you don't want to miss a moment of the action. This should be an absolutely ripping fixture. Central Coast Dolphins will take on the Newcastle Knights in about 5 minutes' time. All the action live, free and exclusive here on New South Wales Touch Football on the Facebook page and also through Bar TV.